Hi, this is Chuck White, and we're starting off a new program here. I'm hoping people's going to like. Going to be a little bit different than normal. I want to introduce myself because we're going to do a pilot here today as Charlie White and Friends, and later on I'll be bringing friends in to talk to, and we'll try to get a few laughs out of them. We can kick it back and get relaxed. And the first thing I thought I ought to do is give you a little history about myself on this program. Because everything I've done is kind of crazy and people think I'm nuts. But it's not true. I'm not nuts. It just looks that way at times. But anyway, I started out living with my dad on a ranch and a farm. And on that farm, we always had cows, horses. That's why I wear this cowboy hat all the time. I always had one on me my whole life, ever since I was 8. I never got rid of it from wearing it, and still do. And Dad make us do weird chores out on the farm. And my main chores was horses. My dad would buy horses and send me out there and say, son, get on that horse and ride it. And I'd get it rode one way or the other. But there's a lot of stories I can tell you about that. But the main thing I want to do is get my history down to you a little bit. And from doing that work, I finally got my first job. Was a hod carrier when I was in high school, because I got me a car, so I had to have money for gas, so I started carrying hod. And at that time, you tell people you was a hod carrier, they didn't know what it was, but it's carrying cement and bricks, loading up for bricklayers. It's hard work, heavy work, and it's something I didn't want to do all my life. And then from there, I went to fighting forest fires. A friend of mine introduced me to a guy that doing some hiring for forest fires. And so I joined up on that, and I got one real good story on that one to tell you. I said, there's going to be like a story deal that we're going to be doing here. And they're going to be funny, exciting, and you're going to love it. And also, I'm a roper. I did a lot of roping. I rode bulls, broncs in my younger days. And I also did a lot of cowboy poker, which most people don't know what that is, because we do it more back in eastern states like Montana, Wyoming, states like that where we do it. We don't do it here in the valley because it's too dangerous. It's kind of crazy. And also, me and my friends, we did a lot of backpacking in the mountains and had a lot of great times up there with everybody. And all the new horses we'd take up there and the things that would happen, the pranks people would pull on each other and things that just would go wrong. When you get with horses, something's bound to go wrong all the time. Then also, I liked riding motorcycles. I got me 2 bikes. My wife says I'm an extremist, which I don't think I am. She says I got to have 2 of everything, and I started counting. Yeah, I got 2 of everything. I got 2 horses, 2 bikes. And he said, you can't ride them all at one time, but I convinced her. I tried to convince her that I can ride them. One this week and one next week, but she's on my hind end day after night about the stuff I have. And I turned 67 this year, so I'm getting up there in my years. And here recently, I just bought 2 new horses that was not even broke yet. And I've been in trouble since then, but I have got them broke. It took me a while, but I got them broke down where we're riding them. And my wife, I took them to the mountains and came back alive. So she was happy with them a little bit better, so she's not on to me as much. But you'll be surprised of all the things that I've done in life. And I'd like to just start off with one little story when I first start off in life about working. People these days, I don't think they really believe in doing physical work like this. But when I was carrying that hod, I got thinking, this is just too hard on me. My hands were just getting like calluses. But it kept you in good physical shape because in high school, they'd have these physical tests that Kennedy came out with, President Kennedy. And a lot of you guys probably remember him. A lot of you guys probably don't. But he came out with a big physical test he had to do. So in school, they made everybody do these tests and get up and exercise, this and that. And I I just never did do it. I just too tired, I guess. But I carried a lot of that hot. So when it come time for us to do our physical test, I had to be in there and do it with everybody else. And got in there, and people started doing it. And every test that came up, I beat them at. And you think, man, you don't think kids wasn't mad at me? I mean, boy, I thought they was going to have my hide because I didn't exercise, no nothing, smoking at the time, did everything what's wrong in health at that time. You know, smoke, drink, chew. I mean, things that we don't do these days, which I don't do these days. I quit those a long time ago. But anyway, I ended up taking first place about everything, made sell my paper, and man, I really thought, you know, you was hot shot, got all the girls chasing after you. And then finally, about my senior year, I decided to do something else. And so I went and joined that fire department which my friend of mine had, and to fight fires, and that went kind of neat. Every December months, we went up there. We didn't have to work too hard, like he said. He said, man, you go up there, Charlie, because all we got to do is sit around, wait for a fire, which hardly, too many doesn't come along. I said, man, that's up my alley. So we go up there, and the first thing that happens, the fire chief comes running in our room, screaming and yelling at us, hey, we got a big fire in Kalinga. We need all of you guys' help, volunteers. And we go, volunteer for what? And the old guy goes, hey, well, why don't you jump on an airplane? You can't get in there on foot. And he goes, there'd be $100 extra. And when I heard that, my ears jumped. And I raised my hand, hey, I'll go. I'll take that job. So I went with him. We went to the airport. He had us jump out of this plane and showed us how to bend our knees a little bit. About 1 hour worth of practice. And told us how this cord's going to work and all that. So here's about 15 of us, young kids, dumb, didn't know nothing. We all jump in that plane, off we go. We got up flying over Kalinga, which didn't take too long to get over there. We were flying around up there to get ready to be dropped off. Kind of look out the window a little bit, man, you see bright red spots down there, but which didn't bother us too much. But then it got time to jump, and everybody, hey, you guys get up. So we all jumped up, every one of us, all 15 of us, like we were ready to go. About 5 people went up the door, and they went out. Then I came up to the door. I looked out there, and all I seen was red. Fire all over the place. And this guy standing at this door and said, hey, Charlie, take this. He hands me this hole-looking thing. They call it a cloud. Hole on one end and a little pick on the other end. He tells me, stop, get. No. I told him, I changed my mind. You guys keep that extra $100. I'm not going to jump. And about that time, somebody from behind me came up and hit me in the back. Out that plane I went, and I thought I was going to die. I just knew I was going to die. But didn't. The thing jerked, and I knew the chute lease went out, and still had my little stick in my hand, looking down at all this fire, going down kind of slow. And I'm thinking then, look at them fires. I'm going to land right in one. I just know I am. But I lucked out and didn't. None of us did. We all landed pretty safe. And we got up, we got out. First thing we did, we had to go up the trail a little bit and start making a fire break. We did that for about 3 days. And come time to get out of that place, we gave them a call, said, hey, fire's out over here where we're at. Can you get us out? And they said, well, not right now, but you can start walking out. And he told us which way to go. So here we go. But he looked like what do they call those guys that's on Disneyland, the little elves with ho, hi ho. Here we off we go. I mean, we looked like those people going down in a row. And about that time, we heard this, kind of looked up. What do you think? We seen a big old plane flying up there. Man, look at that plane. He's flying awful low. And everybody, yeah, they are flying kind of low. And about that time, the door opened. And we seen the reddest stuff in your life come flying out of this plane. And that thing just came along and hit us, and when it did, it knocked us back 20 feet. And we all got up. thing about stink, smell like ammonia, our eyes are burning. Then we called in and said, hey, you know, we're back here and we're covered with all this red stuff. Is it going to kill us or what? And they, well, just take it easy. We'll get some help to you. So they called us back and said, well, we got a helicopter. Guy's brave enough to go fly back in there and get you out. So find an opening. So we got us an opening. Then off we go. Sitting on the sides waiting for the helicopter to come. The helicopter showed up. Took everybody out one at a time. Then it came my turn. I said, my luck just is no good. I get in there and I was going out and he says, well, the wind's picked up, buddy. He says, took your last guys out, but you know what? He goes, we'll get out of here alive. I flew in Korea. It ain't that bad. Oh, okay. So I fastened my seatbelt and off we started going through this canyon. And when we did, the wind picked up and just whoop, took that helicopter, put it on sideways up there and scared the living death out of me. And he finally got us back to fire base. We got cleaned up and everything and got back to the fire base. And I went up to the crew boss and told him, hey, this ain't for me. I'm out of here. So I quit that job and went on down the road, and I tried to figure out what to do next. So I take a little break here, get back, and I'll tell you what I did next.
Low testosterone affects most men. Dr. Kevin Lester discusses the testosterone optimization program.
The top program is a testosterone optimization program designed to improve men's health and well-being. Men's testosterone, which diminishes gradually from the time they're about 30 or 35 to about the time they die, which is hopefully 86, 87, they gradually have less and less testosterone. Your belly becomes fatter, your blood vessels become worse, you become out of shape, you get grouchy. Come in for a free measurement, and then it's almost always insured. Almost all insurance companies cover it, including Medicare. But it's free to come in for the first consultation. After that, even if you're a cash patient, it's $140 a month.
Find out more about the testosterone optimization program by visiting tophatmed.com or calling 559-431-2332. Mike Briggs Properties sells homes in the Tower District and throughout Fresno and the Valley. Did you know we also sell businesses? Why work to build someone else's business when you could build your own? The small businesses we have for sale include restaurants, professional practices, and you can even own your own TV show. This week's featured businesses include an established Pizza by the Slice business in the heart of the Tower District, and also available a laundromat in Van Ness Village. If you are interested in owning a business, call Mike Briggs Properties at 486-6758 and ask for details.
Looking for a travel agent? Look no further. Bianca Echeveste can make your travel dream a reality, even on a budget. Visit ilovemytravelbiz.com or call Bianca at 559-284-2217.
Open house this Saturday in the Tower District. This house is located at 1244 North Echo, 3 houses north of Olive in the heart of the Tower District. Stop by this Saturday between 1 and 3 p.m. or call 486-6758 or go to MikeBriggsProperties.com. See all Tower District listings by all agents at TowerDistrictProperties.com.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Oh, I'm glad to see we're all back again. Hope you all stretched your legs a little bit like I did. And go ahead and finish off my story a little bit. I really didn't mean to get into, but it just fell that way with me sometimes. Anyway, I got done with fighting fires, quit it, and went something else that I thought was real smooth I wouldn't kill myself on, which I started back to hod carrying, and from hod carrying I went to laying brick, and from laying brick I went out and got my own contractor's license. And I wouldn't even done that, but we had our boss, he was a nasty guy. I mean, he'd just get on you, rub you raw. And finally, he said I was too stupid to get a contractor's license, so I'll boy, you watch. And I did. I went out and got me a contractor's license. Then when I did, I fixed him good. I started taking jobs away from him. Then I got to laugh at him at the latter days of his life. You know, he'd died by now. I know he has. I went to his funeral. But I got the best of him at that time. And then after he was gone, and the excitement wasn't there as much as it used to be with me laying block. I used to really enjoy going out there doing it, building something, and then you step back and seeing what you built. And it's amazing the things when you go by, well, I built this, I built that, I helped work on that. That's here for life. It's going to be here for life. Yeah, it's kind of enjoyable. But then bad things happen, like with me. Things always do. One day I was up there building a lead, up 2 stories. And one of the little hod carriers that I hired didn't know too much. I was hoping the other guys taught him better. But they didn't. So I needed a couple of braces. And what does this little guy do? He trots down to where I'm working at, takes them off my scaffold, which is what you see going down these people working at that's stacked up real high that they can walk up there on pallets, and do their job. Well, he took my braces away, and when he did, nothing happened right away. I'm just up there work away, and all of a few minutes went by, and the scaffold started opening up on me. And when it did, the boards came down. When the boards came down, I came down right with the boards, and I landed on my back on this concrete. And it had like spikes going up the steel about every 3 feet. And I guess God was looking for me out that day because I fell right in between those deals, bounced back up, off running I went. Got all mad, went over there and fired him, and I tried to finish the day out, which I did. Then I went home. Next day I go, oh man, I can't walk. Had to go to the doctor and back surgery and all that stuff came on. Then when that happened, I got out of the masonry business. Then from there, I went on to John Deere, worked for them for about 20 years, retired from them. And in between time, I rodeoed a lot at that time. I mean, every chance I got off, or I had a chance, I'd go. And I ended up going to the finals 5 times. Never could take first. I tried hard, though. I'd get second, third. Never could get that first place. But I enjoyed it a lot. And I tell you a lot of stories about getting up there. I was like one of the 5th rated cowboys around here in the valley there for a while. And to get there is a long story. All the things that happened to me when I first started learning the rope. And then I bought me some motorcycles after that, and I really enjoyed riding bikes, just taking them off and going places and enjoying just life, period. I always used to tell my wife, I live every day for the day. I don't care about tomorrow because I might not be here today. And she thought I was crazy doing that. But, it's 42 years now, still married to her, same old girl. She still says the same thing. You're going to kill yourself one of these days. And things happen where I probably should have got killed, but I haven't got killed. So I figured it's meant to be whatever I do. So I try to have much fun as I can. And through the things all I've done, I've met, the people I've met is unreal. I mean, I used to do these shootouts where we play gunslingers, people hire us to go to these parties, and we'd pull these little stunts off here and there. And we had the stagecoach that we used to go to all the fairs with and parades and have a good time with that and go to private parties with it, give weddings with it. I mean, had a blast with that. And I met people that I can't name. There's so many of them. The friends that I've made in my 67 years. And what I'm hoping to do is here with this show is bring some of my friends up here that's still alive. A lot of them are gone. But I got a lot of new friends, and they're younger. And to get them up here and let them tell you their stories about how they've got their start and they're doing now. And some of the rodeo guys that they're out there roping, rodeo, and trying to make it to the big time and make that money. But, you got to do a lot of traveling. And it's not made for everybody, but you try hard. And if you try hard enough, you'll do it and you'll succeed. Because everything it's always worked for me for some reason. I don't know why. Like the grand jury, you probably see me here a couple of times asking recruits for the grand jury, because I got on it about 8 years ago by mistake. I was reading an ad in the paper for looking for some volunteers for the grand jury, and I thought, man, this ought to be pretty cool. You just go there, sit there, and convict people. Well, I was wrong, got in it, they picked me, and I found out it's nothing like that. It's totally different. You investigate, you interview, you got to write these big articles, stories, but it got in my blood. It was exciting, so I done it 2 years straight, then you're off a year, and I'd go back 2 years straight again, off. Then I decided I was going to quit it, start something else, but then the judge called me up, said, hey, Mr. White, things are going crazy there. You think you can go there and straighten them out for me, since you've got pretty lot of experience in the grand jury? I said, well, I'll give it a shot. This will be my second year right now as foreman, and they've never had a foreman ever last 2 years. They only go 1 year, and by that time they drove insane. And somehow I made it through the first year, and then he asked me if I would stay another year as foreman. So I agreed to it. I don't think I know how to say no. Every time people ask me something, I say yes. And one of these days I got to learn how to say no. Yeah, probably when I'm in my grave, I say, don't put the picture of dirt on top of me. That'd be my no. Hold it off right there. But I enjoyed that grand jury and still do. Even though this is going to be my last year doing it. I've said that before, but this is going to be my last year doing it. And I'm hoping that more people will join the grand jury, that if you're listening to this, if you're young or old, retired, it's something to do to get that job. And you wouldn't believe all the stuff that you see and come across. I mean, you meet a lot of good people, and you see a lot of bad people. The things that they do. I mean, I didn't think politics in city and county people, the heads were as bad as they were till after I got on the grand jury. And it's kind of exciting because you find those people out and you stop them from what they're doing. And that gives you great satisfaction right there. And then it gets in your blood. Then you really get into it, because you get a complaint come in and you just want to go after them with all five. And you got to slow down on it, because, you got them convicted sometime before you talk to them. But there's always two sides to every story. And the new guys, they'll come in and want to hang the person the first time they read the complaint. Then we call in the other side in and get their story. Then it's, oops. Now, if this guy over here, he's no good, and this guy's a good guy now. It goes back and forth on this stuff. And this will be my last year, like I say. I'm even going to promote it. So I'm hoping everybody's getting my last day on this and join. And that'd make you happy, the government happy, because you're catching the bad guys and getting rid of them. But that's what things we're going to do on my show here. We're going to talk about topics like that. Maybe I'll tell you some stories about the grand jury that I've done in the past, which you're not going to believe what some of these people do when I tell it to you. Then, like I said, I'm going to have a lot of my friends come up here, and they're going to talk. And I think you'll enjoy them, because they've got some crazy stories to tell you. And I got one here, I think, about rodeo, you might like. The rodeo, they had it first time I did this. It was in California where they had it at. Had this one rodeo, and with me, I was roping in it and doing bronc. And the announcer comes up to me and goes, hey, you guys want to play cowboy pokers? I'm like, well, what do you got to do? And he goes, just sit around a card table, play poker. Is that all? And he goes, yeah, that's it. And, it's not hard, real easy, and I'll give you $100 for it. if you do it. So I got 3 other friends, gathered them up, and we go out in the arena, and I thought how stupid this is going to be. We sitting out here in this big arena with thousands of people looking on, and us 4 dummies are going to sit here and play poker. Well, that's what we did. We sat down, get the cards out, start playing poker. The next thing we realized, boom, big old black Brahma went right past us. And then the announcer announced the rules to us real quick. Says, you got to stay in your seat till the last one. Then the last one to sit in their seat will get $100. And you're not allowed to turn around and look to see where that bull's coming from or nothing. So you sat there with all 4 of you, and you're hoping this guy here and this guy here. Where's he at? Where's he at? Oh, he's coming your way. He's coming your way. Oh, no, he changed. He's going the other way. This would go on for quite a while. And finally, at this one rodeo, the first time we did it, we go, man, this ain't too bad. At least the bull's not getting us. And what do? They let out a second bull. And then it got scary. We were sitting there trying to tell each other where this bull was coming from, and boom, right through our table, knocked our table down, knocked us down, put our chairs back up. 2 of the guys took off running. I'm had it with these bulls, and I sat there, and believe it or not, my son was with me, and he was sitting there. Each one of us was going to outstare each other who's going to be the bravest here. Here come them bulls. One came right at my back. He said, Dad, he's coming. I go, well, I'm just sitting there sweating. I got to run. I'm going to run. Finally, nope, too late. Boom, the bull hit me from behind, but he went over my head. And part of his back feet knocked off my hat. Then the other bull swung around and took after my son. And when he did, my son knew he's coming. I told him, hey, he's coming on your back. He jumped up and ran fast as he could. And he ended up, I won my $100, but that was the scariest thing I think I ever did in rodeo. And I think we were getting pretty short of time today. Wish I could tell you another story, but I know I ain't got time for that. But this is going to give you a little idea of what things is going to be going on here. And when my friends start showing up, things are going to get really active and going. And if you really like this show, would like to have me back, telling you a few more stories, call 579-1360 and tell them you like it. And maybe we'll get this thing going for a while and get it growing, and we'll all have a good time every Friday at 2 o'clock. So we'll see you later, and I thank you for watching.
Selecting for the best employee or boss? Make an informed decision. Learn more at teamplayerhr.com. Here at Central Valley Talk, we've chosen Select Business Systems to provide for our copy, print, and scanning needs. We used to think it was cheaper to purchase our own toner and maintain our own office equipment. But now, with the expertise and experience of Select Business Systems, our office workflow is running at peak performance, saving our company time and money. They've truly set us up with our new Sharp multifunction copier, streamlining our office with the press of a button. To find out how you can improve your office technology, call Select Business Systems at 446-0123 or visit their website at selectsharp.com.
Flowers and more. Bulletin Marks in Fresno. Call 440-0920 or visit thefresnoflorist.com.
Certifying foster homes for placement of children suffering from abuse, neglect, and abandonment. To help, contact Lisa Caceres with Angels of Grace at 559-268-0000.
Mike Briggs Properties sells homes in the Tower District and throughout Fresno and the Valley. Did you know we also sell businesses? Why work to build someone else's business when you could build your own? The small businesses we have for sale include restaurants, professional practices, and you can even own your own TV show. This week's featured businesses include an established Pizza by the Slice business in the heart of the Tower District, and also available a laundromat in Van Ness Village. If you are interested in owning a business, call Mike Briggs Properties at 486-6758 and ask for details.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
I think people think of raw food or healthy food as not having much flavor, and this is so flavorful.
So very nutrient dense, and it feeds my body.
I love Raw Fresno because I've learned so much about nutrition. It's organic, and it's delicious. It's nutrient dense and very tasty.
Food that's alive, probiotics, it's healthy vegetables to get that protein, and it's a game changer. It's awesome.
Come to Raw Fresno just because I love the food, and there's not too many options or any options like this anywhere.
I come back because the food is delicious.
It's definitely a new experience, the different tastes, the salad. It's absolutely delicious.
I love the food because, as I found, this food actually has a lot of flavor. It's all so good, it's hard for me to decide what to eat, so then I'll just take samples of everything.
My husband and I both are addicted to it, and it's like we go through kale withdrawals because it makes us feel better.
It's so healthy, and because it tastes so good. I love the wraps, I love the chocolate cheesecake, and I know everything in it is good for me, and I can eat it and feel good about myself.
The food is so healthy and very tasty.
I would definitely come back to Raw Fresno.
I'm not even the same person. When it's all to this food, it's just amazing. It's transforming.
Low testosterone affects most men. Dr. Kevin Lester discusses the testosterone optimization program.
The top program is a testosterone optimization program designed to improve men's health and well-being. Men's testosterone, which diminishes gradually from the time they're about 30 or 35 to about the time they die, which is hopefully 86, 87, they gradually have less and less testosterone. Your belly becomes fatter, your blood vessels become worse, you become out of shape, you get grouchy. Come in for a free measurement, and then it's almost always insured. Almost all insurance companies cover it, including Medicare. But it's free to come in for the first consultation. After that, even if you're a cash patient, it's $140 a month.
Find out more about the testosterone optimization program by visiting tophatmed.com or calling 559-431-2332. Mike Briggs Properties sells homes in the Tower District and throughout Fresno and the Valley. Did you know we also sell businesses? Why work to build someone else's business when you could build your own? The small businesses we have for sale include restaurants, professional practices, and you can even own your own TV show. This week's featured businesses include an established Pizza by the Slice business in the heart of the Tower District, and also available a laundromat in Van Ness Village. If you are interested in owning a business, call Mike Briggs Properties at 486-6758 and ask for details.
Looking for a travel agent? Look no further. Bianca Echeveste can make your travel dream a reality, even on a budget. Visit ilovemytravelbiz.com or call Bianca at 559-284-2217.
Open house this Saturday in the Tower District. This house is located at 1244 North Echo, 3 houses north of Olive in the heart of the Tower District. Stop by this Saturday between 1 and 3 p.m. or call 486-6758 or go to MikeBriggsProperties.com. See all Tower District listings by all agents at TowerDistrictProperties.com.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Hi, Charlie White here. I'm back again with Charlie White and Friends today. The second half of our show. And I got one guest coming in today, a friend of mine named Randy. He's gone back in the backcountry a little bit, and once he gets here, we'll find out little things about his trips, what he's done, and if they're exciting or if they're just dull. But as I'm waiting on him, I'm going to give you one little story about me in the backcountry, because I got a bunch of them. Can you imagine? Well, in fact, I can sit here and probably tell you stories for 67 years, but I don't think you're going to sit here and listen to me for 67 years. So we're going to just try this one right here. One of my favorites in a way. Me and about 6 other dudes, we went to, up in the High Sierras, and we decided we was going to go backpacking there for about a week and a half. So we load all our horses up, and this horse I had him for like 3 years. I got him when he was 1 year old. Then I started trying to break him at that point, and for some reason, this horse would never be completely broke. He would wait, you get on him, and he'd buck for 2 or 3 minutes. Not a real big buck, a hard buck, but he'll buck. And then after that, he's okay. He's fine. I mean, you go out and do anything you want off him then at that point. I mean, I even had him in parades where he was great, and we do these reenactments. When you shoot these big cannons off, he'd just sit there like it was nothing. But now, if you just get on him for a ride, even at the parade, when I got on him, I had to take him aside, get on him, get the buck out of him, and get back in line. Then he's okay. Once we get that part done, or I got it done, but I got where I really dreaded every morning, or every time I got on him, that I had to do that. But so I figured, you know what? I'm going to take this horse to the mountains with me the next trip, and work him a week up there in those mountains, and that'll take the buck out of him. But it didn't. Got up there, first 3 days, this horse got meaner and meaner and meaner every morning. I mean, he'd go crazy. I mean, he'd get up, me and him would fall down on each other. I'd get mad, kick him one in the behind, jump back on him again, and off we'd rodeo again. I mean, we'd tore up our camp 2 or 3 times getting on this horse. Then off we'd go back in the high country, go back there, and it'd be really nice then, you know, following the trails and hitting all these streams and stop there a while, fish a little while. When I get back on him, he wouldn't buck. Off we go again, another stream, same thing. I mean, this horse was great. But so we got back at camp. Following the next morning, got on him, same thing. Bucked the living crap out of me. And I kept thinking, man, this ain't right for a horse to be that mean every morning. So one morning I got up early. I had to go to the bathroom. So I go trotting off in the woods out there, and as I was coming back, I see the horses going, kind of winning. And here's this one guy, friend of mine, he's over there feeding this horse oats. And if anybody knows anything about oats and horses, if you got a mean horse, you give him oats, he's going to get meaner. I mean, meaner by the day. Mostly they get real, oats will get hot. And it'll work on some horses till it drives them insane. And I found out he was doing this for a whole week. And that's one reason that horse just got meaner and meaner. So I brought him back down from the mountains up there, and finally I gave up on him. And finally I sold him to this one guy. And this guy I sold him to, I asked him, what are you going to do with him? He goes, well, Mr. White, I seen you with that horse before. And he always bucks on you at first. But he says, I think I can handle that. But I love it because he's deaf. I said, what do you mean he's deaf? He goes, well, I seen him shoot cannons by it and go off, and he don't move. So he bought him, and next time I seen him, I was at a reenactment at Kearney Park. And he was the guy that got to stand right next to the cannon when it went off and go in these fights, and that horse found his calling. And then after that, he just kind of quit bucking. The guy got him a good horse. Well, I seen my friend here. I think he's just coming through the door. Are you here, Jeff?
Yes, sir.
Why don't you come on and sit down?
That's for sure. All right.
And right now we're talking about the mountains a little bit.
Okay.
Some goofy things that's happened to me. I'd like to know how your trips have gone. Or you just gone?
Oh.
You've been on a horse.
Yes, I have. Not a lot of times, but enough. And I remember some great times back when I was a kid, riding horses up there in Columbia, up there in the hills, Gold Country.
Up north.
Yeah, and then a few other things as well with with that. It's been a while. I did have last week. I introduced my daughter to riding a pony.
Oh man!
My daughter's 10. It was her first time on a pony.
You know, the ponies are the meanest critters around.
Oh yeah, she was a little scared. She have to say she was a little nervous about it at first.
Don't blame her.
And but we took her around for a little bit, and she had a great time with it too. You know, so
pony doing good.
Yeah, he's a well-trained pony, and he's pretty good with kids and whatnot. So it was something that was fun for her, and
you guys all got enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, we all did with that. Let me ask you this: the general show, you talk a lot about what. Kind of fill me in on that, the general show here. Besides talking about, this specific subject, do you do a lot of stuff with do you do anything with other networks? We don't need to name the networks on the air, but do you do anything with other networks, radio or TV or anything like that?
No, I've done stuff, which I didn't mention this to people. In my younger years, I say younger years now because I'm 67 now. But if you've ever been to San Juan Bautista,
yes,
that mission up there, you go inside there and they have a film that you can watch, a movie. Mm-hmm. And I did two movies up there. We did one called Kit Carson, which it showed it showed all over the place. That Kit Carson was, and the other one it was more like a history one with not Grant. But who was that guy that hung around with that guy? Fremont.
John C. Fremont,
yeah,
yes.
We did it on him about the Bears and how they took over California, how we took California back, or got California.
Right.
And San Juan Bautista was where they had the biggest battle at, where we more or less won it back. Mm-hmm. Where the flag, people might not know our flag with the bear on it. That's where it came from.
Yes.
And the old mountain man was there, and they needed a flag to represent everything, and they drew a flag of a big old bear, and that what got our.
That's right.
Our flag.
That's right. It's unfortunate, but in today's history classes, they don't actually teach the truth about the whole situation with California, and. I'm very well versed on California history, going back from today to literally to the day of the Californios, which were the inhabitants who were Mexican nationals at the time when this was Alta California, which means Upper California. And so it's unfortunate that the people today have completely decimated the teaching of California history, and it's created divisions and other issues that don't need to be there. As an example, a lot of people, they say this myth that, California was stolen from Mexico. No, it was not. It was actually an insurrection where Californios and settlers who were once U.S. citizens who came out to California under the laws of Mexico at the time, they banded together to fight against the Mexican federal government because they were being ignored. Right. Alta California was sparsely populated. There was only, I think, 4,000 or so residents. You had a lot of Californios who felt like they had no connection whatsoever to Mexico City. Santa Anna was a corrupt dictator to them, and so the settlers that came here from the east, along with Californios who had been here already, they actually revolted, and the place was already, the insurrection had already won by the time the U.S. Navy had even landed in Monterey. A month, a month before the U.S. Navy landed in Monterey, which was the capital
Yeah.
of Alta California, the Californios and the settlers combined had already won. They had actually declared their independence from Mexico, U.S., and everybody else. We were our own country for a short period of time.
Very short.
I think our country lasted for 1 month or so.
That's why Fremont was in the bunch.
Right. And and also there was other claims to the land. Russians had the Tsar of Russia had a settlement at Sonoma, I believe it was, Fort Ross.
Yeah, I remember Fort Ross.
Fort Ross. This England had claims to the Oregon Territory, which is Oregon, Washington State, and now what's called British Columbia and Vancouver. That area, they were claiming California. There was like 5 or 6 nations.
Everybody
that
wanted California.
Yeah, they were all claiming California.
Well, we had the ports, we had the gold, we had everything.
Yeah, absolutely. California has everything it needs to survive, and quite frankly, we our forefathers as well as our Hispanic friends, their forefathers fought together to free California from the ridiculous laws and mandates that were being put upon it by Mexico's federal government out of Mexico City. There was even the last governor of Alta California, his name was Pio Pico. He was sided with the revolt. One of the main military leaders, General Mariano Vallejo, he sided with the revolt. So did others. And now if you look at our cities, we've got Vallejo, California, Fremont, California. Mm-hmm. All of our founding fathers and Hispanics of today, their ancestors, we were a unified force to fight against it. Unfortunately, our schools now teach our kids that a very simplistic view that, the U.S. invaded Mexico or invaded this area.
They don't give them the full story.
Yeah, they don't tell the true story.
Yeah, that's why when we did that documentary up there, they did it as they did back then.
Right.
It's actually the way it happened.
Yes.
When we did that. Because I was really amazed with doing that picture there. We did a few stupid things when we were doing it. Because at one point, Fremont and Carson was down in this one valley.
Right.
And one of the other guys had to come and warn them that the bad guys were coming.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this hill there. And on that mountainside, the producer, he wanted somebody to go down that hill. And me and this other friend of mine, Roger, we kind of eyeballed it, and think, I don't know, man, it's pretty steep.
Yeah.
And finally, we drank a little bit back in them days. And we had a few. Then we got gutsy. We told the producer, watch the top of that mountain. Be ready. Me and him went up there, and we came hooping and hollering over that hill. And it surprised me to this day still that we didn't kill ourselves. I mean, we came sliding down on them old horses. They just dropped on their rear ends because it was so steep. We come down there, and when it finally leveled up, them horses came right on up with us, and we was able to ride right into that camp.
Yeah, and so California has this really rich history of, of all of us kind of working together, doing things, and then in fact, I'm looking up some quotes right now as we speak, and it's a great storied history of how two peoples can work together for mutual freedom. This was very much like the revolt. The California revolt was very much like, let's say, the U.S. revolting, the colonies revolting against England.
Yeah.
Or Texas did something similar.
I know every year up there they reenact it. They do it up there, not the whole thing, but they bring all the people in when they camp out, the trappers and all that, and the soldiers all come up there and dress in uniforms like they had back in them days.
Mm-hmm.
Then they put on a big ball up there. So if you're in costume, you can go to that ball. And it reminds me of, you ever seen that movie Fort Apache with John Wayne?
I'm not sure offhand.
Peter, who's the sidekick there? Can't think who his name is. Peter? No. That come to me later. Anyway, they was in their fort doing a dance with all their girlfriends and wives and all that stuff. And it reminded me of that movie, Fort Apache, when they went in there.
Yeah.
Henry Fonda, that's who I
Okay.
They did the movie together. And that's where Henry Fonda got wiped out at the end.
Yeah, there's I remember a quote when I studied this issue. It was something like, get California out of the hands of Santa Anna, give it to Russia, give it to the U.S., give it to Britain, give it to ourselves, just get it out of their hands, something like that. I'd have to look it up exactly, but it was it's something that shows that we had diversity at that point, and we had a unified population, and I really would love to see a reemergence of California pride again. And,
back again like it was back then. It ain't no pride now.
Right, with all of us. I have a friend, Marcus Ruiz Evans, who has wrote a book called California's Next Century 2.0, and he talks about how, in theory, California could be its own country. We have the ports.
Yeah.
We have the agribusiness. We feed the world. We have things like we have Silicon Valley, which supplies all the technology in the world. We've got great geography of all different types. We are large enough population-wise. We're the 5th largest economy in the world, I believe it is. We may have slipped a spot or two, but this is in comparison to other nations.
Yeah, I've heard that. One time they want to split us up in California, as like I said, as a own little country, but 3 states.
Yeah, the California could do great even on its own, and I'm not calling for secession from the U.S., by the way. Yeah, I'm not calling for that, but it would be really good to at least have some more autonomy from the federal government. Let us handle our own affairs and do some things that would be good for us.
If it wasn't for the government, California would be way out there. They hold us back every chance they can. We think California's getting way ahead, and Austin, nope. Here comes some more taxes for you boys. Man, we need more money here in Washington D.C. So let's get it.
We're a donor state. I hear I think for every $2 or so that we put in, we get $1 back, or
probably
70 cents or something.
Person told me one time every $1 we get 10 cents back. And I'm beginning to believe them, because it seems that way anymore. Money, all these years I worked, it seemed like everything went poof. Hey, I got no more income no more. They take you off the job market. You can't work no more. You're too old.
There's with today's, there's so much that California has going for itself, and we've got a great history. I love our history. We've got so much stuff, and we've got the capability to really, really survive and do phenomenal even on our own. But within the context of the U.S., we certainly should. I think we should flex our power a little bit more.
I do too.
In Washington, say, hey, we're 1/7 of the U.S. population.
We got to get a new governor first.
Yeah.
then we might. I think his term limits are up. He's going to be out of there. I don't know what we'll get next.
Yeah, who knows, really.
This voting anymore, it just don't make sense the way they vote.
Yeah, there's the open primary now, right? And with that, we've got, you've got I don't know if that's good or not. I'd prefer that Democrats pick their own candidates, Republicans pick theirs.
Yeah.
I don't know. It remains to be seen, but what seemed to happen last time is that I don't know. It just I don't know about changing a long-term thing. I don't recall what their justification was for it. I guess they said it would increase turnout or it would help out with some other thing, but I don't see anything good that came out of it. At least
No,
the
not this last
election.
presidency. Not. I can't think of one thing that came out good. I mean, everything he's tried, it's been bad. You know, and when things are bad up there, it makes it bad for us. And there's less things we can do down here. More fun if we by ourselves would make more money and do things and make our comedy better because we'd spend. Like gasoline right now, it's gone down price.
Yeah.
So all my friends and everything now we're getting back together, getting our horse trailers all warmed up again. As soon as the first time comes, out the mountain we're going to go. Bunch of us old guys.
You know what,
go up there and freeze to death.
I was looking at something online here from the Orange County Weekly, and being that we have this drought here, there turns out that there was a great drought in 1864, and it talks about how it affected the cattle industry. And back then, L.A. was not the L.A. we know of now.
No.
It had
dairies and everything else.
Yeah, it had all that stuff, and it's saying here that, let's see, that the population of cattle went from 70,000 in 1860 to about 20,000 by 1870. So that drought really took
a toll on them.
Took a toll on the cattle. It took a toll on a lot of other things.
Well, it took a toll on me too. This year, I raised cattle, but this year I sold everything. Sold out. Well, no more cows. They just got too expensive. The hay's too high, the feed is. And they blame that on the fuel. But now the fuel's low, but the hay's not low. They don't bring that hay back down.
Right, yeah.
But when I first started out with cowboy and everything, hay was $1.50 a bale. You know, if you wanted old hay, 50 cents a bale. Now look, you can't touch it for 20 or 25 a bale.
Right.
Ridiculous.
You know, one of the things that I've advocated for in modern California, not historical California, because I can't go back in time. I certainly will keep trying, but one thing that I've advocated for, and I've worked in solar, is we have so much sun throughout the Central Valley, from the Grapevine all the way up to, north of Sac, and then we also have the desert areas. If we were to put solar on every single roof, and I'm talking about poor people, middle class, our schools, everything, we could generate so much power that everybody's power would be covered in the whole state. Nobody would have to pay a power bill. And then we would be able to sell it on the spot market to Las Vegas and other areas, other states. And everybody would actually have a check. I don't have the exact calculation, but imagine a state where each homeowner has no power bill,
that'd be
and
nice.
on top of that, they're getting an average of, let's say, $800 to $1,000 a month checks to pay for their cost of their homes.
I think that's going to be a dream. Well, Jeff, I'm glad you stopped by.
Oh, absolutely.
On
I'm
this
glad
thing.
that you're here with Central Valley Talk, and congratulations on your new show.
I hope it goes good, and we'll have more stories for you next week, and little adventures that we've done here and there. I think you're going to enjoy the show. So you just go out and tell your buddies and friends, watch our show, record it, put it on your VCR. I think you'll get a kick out of it every day from the things we do. And some of the goofy things that we do, that's going to be the fun part. I think it's how dumb we are sometimes, the things that we do. And we don't do it on purpose. It just comes out that way by accident. So we hope we all see you again, and you guys all take care.
All right,
So,
you guys.
Goodbye.
Have a good weekend.
See you later.
CentralValleyTalk.com